Here's why I think most business owners have got it completely wrong. When it comes to business growth and mindset specifically, I want to share a story with you first of all. And this story is a story from a business owner. He shared with me recently that he had a heart attack, specifically my local window cleaner. And he's been cleaning my windows since I had my previous house and the house that I live in right now for a number of years. And, you know, we've got this relationship where it's very conversational. You know, I ask him about his day, he speaks to me, and, you know, sometimes we have a chat, other times I just let him crack on and I've got things to do in my own schedule, right? But the point of me sharing this story is because, now, my window cleaner is not an old guy. He's 36 years old. And it took me back a little bit because 36 isn't the age that you, or probably I, would associate with somebody having a heart attack. And especially, he's what I would consider a young, healthy man. You know, he's very athletic, and actually he also is a member of the gym that I go to. So, you know, I'd see him there on occasion. Not so much recently, and we'll get into that in a moment. But, you know, first of all, I just want to get into, like, the mindset of business and the pressures that it can, you know, put upon us. And here's the thing, he's been growing his window cleaning business. He's got, you know, a number of rounds, so a number of properties, residences that he's able to go to and clean their windows. And he doesn't, you know, charge a particularly premium price, which I think he could charge, but he doesn't. You know, his prices are fairly, let's say, cheap, or, you know, good for most people. But the point that I'm getting to is that he makes enough money. He has his van and he has the opportunity to grow. But he's got to the point where he was able to buy another property. So 2 properties, a house that he has and another house that rents. And, you know, he's got a young family. And there are different pressures that, you know, generally start to pile on to the business owner. And the work that you do and the responsibilities that you have tend to grow. You know, we take on more responsibilities, more things, more debt, more bills, more whatever. And it kind of gets us into this trap of we've got to work. And unfortunately, the more that we work, at some point, you can't keep going, right? At some point, you got to stop. It's just like if you ask a marathon runner to then run, you know, an additional 200 miles, I guarantee 99.9% of those people would probably quit, except if their name was David Goggins. Stay hard! But anyway, that's for another time, another story. But the point I'm getting to is there's only so much time that you can trade for money, right? And I have this training that I share with clients, and it's called the 4 levels of value. And in there, we talk about, you know, trading time, which is muscles for money, because usually it involves some kind of work. Could be the mental muscle, could be the physical muscle, but you trade that time. And generally at level 1, it's just you. At level 2, you become a manager and you manage other people trading time for money, but you're also doing the same, managing them and perhaps some of the work. But the point I'm getting to with this is, I've been speaking to my window cleaner over the years, and I understand that he has the opportunity to grow, but the thing is he has been fearful to take somebody on. You know, what if they aren't good? What if they damage or ruin my reputation, the business reputation? You know, how much time is it actually going to take? But here's the thing, he's got to the point where he is trading so much time doing the work, and it's burnt him out to the point that, you know, over the Christmas period, he ended up having this heart attack. Not like a major heart attack, but a point where he now has to have medication for the rest of his life. Well, that's what he's been told anyway by doctors. And it just shocked me, because he's like 36. I'm 45 right now as I'm recording this video. I'm just like, I don't even feel anywhere near, you know, something like that happening to me. And I give thanks and praise to the universe, you know, that it doesn't. But the point I'm getting to is, he's been carrying a lot of stress and a lot of tension, and, you know, the worry of money, having 2 properties, different bills. The cost of living in the UK has gone up. You know, our energy prices are through the roof because our government has poor leadership and have allowed this to happen. And all those other things that, you know, society and the environment can throw at you. And it doesn't make for a pretty picture. That's the point I'm getting to. And it really, you know, kind of touched me when he shared this, because I just thought, like, fuck me, like, that really, is that really happening? And so anyway, you know, we were talking, and as I've spoken to him in the past, I've said, look, if there's one thing that this is telling you, it's a sign, it's a wake-up call, right? And I said to him, I said, look, you either take this business and grow it by bringing somebody in so you don't have to work as hard, right? And you put up with the fact that maybe your reputation might take a hit, maybe they'll do some things wrong, but eventually you're going to figure out the system of how to hire, because everything in business is a bunch of systems. The only reason why he has been fearing taking somebody on is because he hasn't documented what are the things that that person needs to do. What are the characteristics of the type of person that I would actually need to hire? What are the resources? What are the equipment? And what are the things they would need before they get to the point where they would need their own van, take on more rounds, and then be, either a subcontractor or just an employee of the business. And I said, and here's the alternative. If you don't do this, you've already seen the effects by having a heart attack, what will come? And I was saying to him, so what would you prefer? The challenges of hiring somebody and actually being able to buy back some of your time while growing your business, or potentially put your health at greater risk. And this is the thing. Now, I'm not saying any of you, in a position where you may have such a health scare, but how much mental challenges, mental health, do you put yourself under because of the stress of money, the stress of trying to work hard, when actually what you need is perhaps just to stop and rethink your model, to stop and give time for growth, to stop and face the fears that you are fearing around growing, right? And a lot of the times, by avoiding the things that you want, which is growth or more freedom, buying your time back and your business being able to be the vehicle to allow that to happen, we deny ourselves of tackling those things and getting to the other side of it, right? Getting past the dark side of what we see, which will actually be the side of business where it becomes the light, it becomes freedom, it becomes, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I act on this sooner? Why didn't I grow my business? And the reality is that in this day and age, if you do have an online business rather than a bricks and mortar business, in this kind of story I'm sharing with you, it's possible to have like a one-man business, and you're using AI and all these different tools that will allow you to create more leverage, and things work in that way. But if you do have a bricks and mortar business, and either way, you should at least have a virtual assistant within your business of some sort, whether you're online or offline, assistants. You need to really look at how can you grow your business to buy back your time. And it might not be an immediate thing, but if you've got a vision, then you can create a plan. And if you create the plan, you can then take action towards the plan, rather than avoiding things because of fears, because of frustrations, or because of what ifs that actually haven't materialized yet. And the cool thing that I've found in my own journey is that the more you push forward, the more you answer the questions of those fears and frustrations, and you actually get answers. Because at the end of the day, that's what you need to have in business. You need to have answers because you've attempted something, you've failed at something, you've learned a lesson from it, and then you've got to the other side and you've got an outcome. And I think that's the point that I want to get to. I don't believe we should trap ourselves mentally. We should put so much pressure on ourselves because we're fearful and we're not willing to take that next step, because I believe all business owners are courageous by taking that step to say, hey, I'm going to set up a business, whether it's a bricks and mortar business or it's an online business. I tip my hat to you if I was wearing a hat, because I think it is courageous. I think it is something that if you're willing to bring value to a marketplace that has a problem or something that can be solved by your products or services, you make the world better, you make the world great, you make a difference, you create impact. And yes, you should be compensated for it. And no, you shouldn't have to also work as a slave. You shouldn't have to trade your time for money forever and a day. You should be able to buy back your time. Yes, it may come with some fears and, different things you got to put in place, systems, hiring, recruiting, and all those things. And they may sound like big words and things, but they don't actually have to be, that challenging or that difficult. There are people that can help you do those things. But I want you to be courageous. I want you to continue to be courageous. I want you to face the next steps in whatever the challenge is in your business and face it head on. I don't want you to have to face, a big health scare because of stress, because of worry, because you put so much on you, both psychologically, and it manifests into your body physically, and then you create disease, or you create discomfort, and then it manifests into big health challenges. There's no reason for that. And on a more deeper spiritual sense, or maybe there is meaning for you to go through that, but I'd rather you avoid it if possible, right? I'd rather at least, get your full 80 to 100 years, whatever the average is in, you know, your country where you are right now. I think in the UK, I think the average life is around about 80 to 86. It's usually a bit higher for women. Not sure why that is. Maybe somebody can comment below and let me know. But I think it's important that no matter what you do, you know, you keep your body in the best shape mentally, spiritually, physically, so that you can get the most out of life, so that your family can get the most out of you, meaning you being there. You know, just thinking back to my window cleaner, you know, he's got a young family, he's got, you know, his eldest is like early teens, and they need dad in their life, they need mum in their life, whether you're, you know, you're a woman watching this as an entrepreneur, business owner, or a guy, it doesn't matter. People need you, your parents, grandparents, friends, in your community. Maybe people depend on you. And this is why I feel it's even more important that you do give yourself a chance to not be pulled down by, you know, these mental challenges. I think it's important that you get past them. And, you know, quite often people talk about this topic of mental health, right? And it is a thing. And especially business owners. And look, being in business is super stressful. I know being an employee is stressful, right? I've been an employee in my past life. But I've been a business owner much longer. And it isn't easy. It isn't for the faint-hearted. But if you are in it, you've made that courageous choice. And with that decision, keep going forward. Get people around you who become the kind of people that you can speak to. You know, get the right network, get around the right people, because they're going to guide you, they're going to give you advice, maybe they're going to give you a different perspective. And as I was speaking to my window cleaner, and he was saying, you know what, Leon, I think you were right when you were telling me before about how I could perhaps, you know, employ either an apprentice or get somebody on. And I'll give you the advice that I gave him as I wrap up on this. I said, whenever I employ people, I employ them based on character. Right? Because generally the skills that we're looking for can all be learnt. And as long as a person has some type of desire, ambition, or passion in the area that they're coming into, then, you know, just understand and recognize that some people who come into your business, they're there for a day. Some are there for a month, some for years to come. But as long as you're okay and you employ people based on the right character, you'll probably get somebody who stays with you for years. You know, in this day and age, it's quite rare, but people do stay. You know, maybe you'll get 2 to 5 years out of that person. But just understand that life changes, just like relationships, you know, start and end. The same thing happens in business with working relationships. But the thing is, if you build this system, you'll be able to repeat it and bring people in and continue to buy back your time. You know, life is for living. Your business is not meant to be a job. It's meant to be a vehicle that helps you to get more out of life and take you to the places that you want to get. It becomes this financial vehicle. It shouldn't be this thing that limits you or becomes the burden on your life and gives you things like heart attacks. You know, for me, my purpose is all about helping people to market their business, because I always believe, and, you know, this is something I strongly believe in, that everything is downstream of leads. So the more people I help to market their business and generate leads, I believe the more freedom people can create, because they'll be able to generate leads, nurture them, convert those leads, turn them into sales, bring more cash into their business, be able to either hire people or develop and implement systems with AI and tools and different things that leverage their time and buy back the business owner's time, so that they can then go on and reinvest in their business, their community, create more impact. I just feel that it will have much more positive effect on this planet. And, you know, the more value we can put out to people and the more people we can help, the bigger the difference we make. And I think it's a life, you know, well lived. You know, there's a lot of research into this, and you'll probably see that there's a lot of people who are alive but they're dead inside. It's because they didn't choose to change. But what you want to do is make sure that you're living. You're not just going through on autopilot, unconscious, not questioning things or putting up with things and just mounting stress and pressure on yourself. You know, you have the opportunity to just live, be happy. And the more happy we can be, the more we can, you know, get into that place of happiness. And I'm not saying that you need to be like, you know, happiness through the roof all the time. What I'm saying is just content and peace. That's also the other thing, right? The more we can own and embody that space, I think the more, and I feel the more that we get out of life. And that's been my own experience. So I just wanted to share this story with you guys. And my conclusion is this: ask for help when things feel stressful. And especially guys, and I'm saying this because I know women generally do seek out, advice from others. But guys, men, if you're watching this, if you can't find people, or people in your circle aren't the kind of people that you can ask, go online, go into groups, go into forums and find your tribe. Go and ask somebody else. There's many people who've probably been through what you've been through and come out the other side and maybe have some tips, some advice, some steps and things you can take. You don't have to do this alone. Nobody built a business alone. There's always been people who've built successful businesses because they've had input, they've had advice, they've had coaching, mentorship and things from other people. I don't believe that, entrepreneurs are just self-made and that's it. I think they're self-made, but they're influenced positively by the right people, the right networks around them. There's a famous quote from George Foreman. He says, your network is your net worth. And I think it's important in life. Getting the right people around you not only makes you wealthy financially, but also wealthy in health, mental health, physical health. So I want to wish you all the best, guys. Thank you very much for watching this. If you want to get more content around marketing, sales and growing your business in the right way and making sure you're making the right decisions, please check out the content on this channel. And do remember to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell right here. My name's Leon Street. Thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.